Alright, so I am officially back into off-season training. I finished my last meet about a week ago, and I've got pretty much the rest of this year to just start working on building a base again, and correcting some of the weaknesses that I found just over the last couple of meets that I've done this year. It's been a lot of back-to-back meet prep since the beginning of the year. I've gone from one meet to the next up until till Worlds last weekend. So my body's been tired. I took all of last week off and just focused on resting, doing a little bit of mobility and rehab work, and just kind of brainstorming based on the weaknesses that I've seen over the last few meets and the things that I know that I need to work on to make next year more successful. So first thing being cutting some weight. I typically have been walking around anywhere from 255 to 260 this whole year, and I compete at 242. And although I've been mostly successful with making weight, I can tell by the time I get to my third attempts that it has definitely not done me so well as far as keeping my strength consistent throughout the day. So I want to be able to cut down below 240, that way I can grow into my next meet instead of having to cut weight. I'll also be spending the next probably 12 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, doing all beltless and wrapless training, as well as spending some time squatting in Olympic shoes. I got a pair of Romaleo 2s for free, and I'm hoping that just spending some time in those, even if I don't like them better than squatting in flat shoes, will allow me to bring up my quad strength. That way I can work on being more upright, building my core from being beltless, as well as getting more power from my quads, since I'm usually a very hip-dominant squatter. So over the course of the next 9 to 12 weeks, my goal is to build up my volume base and my work capacity using all beltless work. So I took 500 pounds as what I feel like pretty confidently hit without a belt or wraps. I took 90% of that to use as a training max, and 70% of that puts me right around 315. So that's what I decided to work with. Goal for today is 3 sets of 10 at 315. I forgot how completely awful it is to squat in sets of more than 5 reps, since I haven't done really anything more than a triple, maybe a set of 5 in probably a year, or close to a year. So it sucked. It was very, very humbling. And I learned, especially since this is the day afterwards and I've been walking like a prison rape victim, that I definitely need to build up some strength through my quads. Core feels pretty good. Lower back's a little bit sore. Upper back's a little bit sore, but this session was just hell to get through. The first set of 10 went pretty good. It wasn't too difficult. It was the fact that I had to go back and repeat it 2 more times that really just was really shitty. Everything felt pretty good. My depth was decent on most of these reps here. I noticed towards the end of the second set, which is about to happen, that I started favoring my left hip a little bit, so I'll have to do a little bit more thorough of a warm-up and mobility work, because another weakening point is I didn't take this as seriously as I should have, because I didn't think 315 would run me into the ground as bad as it did. So this is the second set. Everything here was pretty positive. I went into this set maybe 3 to 4 minutes after my first set of 10. Here you can start to see a little bit of the hip shifting to the right. This felt pretty good up until about the halfway point, and then I really started to question why I was doing this in the first place. But obviously that's a weakness, so it's something that needs to be addressed over the next couple of months. That way it no longer is. There's the weight shift right there. So obviously I've got something going on the one side where maybe the glute's not firing as well as it should be. So I'll work on that and do some tissue work here probably tomorrow and see if I can correct that for next week when I add another set, which is exciting. That second set put me on the ground for about 15 minutes before I could come back and hit this third one. I cut out about a minute and a half worth of stalling at the bar because I just really did not want to get back underneath the bar. I was pretty dizzy and pretty nauseous pretty much through this entire set. Still managed to get through it, but I definitely wanted to quit before I even started this one, and it's not even that heavy, so this sucked. After this set, I was on the ground for probably 20 minutes before I could go into my accessory work, and was still pretty dizzy going through that. So everything after this was pretty light. My main goal, since this is my first week back to this high of volume, was just to survive my core lift stuff and then get some of the accessories in. Next week, that was high. Next week, I'll push my accessories a little bit better, since I don't think I'll be quite as sore and shitty as I was this week here. Decided to use a safety squat bar pause squat as one of my main accessories. Goals with this is to work on core bracing and then also staying upright in the hole. I'm just really finding that groove where I'm sitting into my hips but not dumping forward, since that's where I tend to fail in my squats. Because I was 30 reps in prior to getting to this, I felt a good amount of work happening in through the quads as well, but was still able to find a nice good pocket to pause in. So this is sad. I've done this with a little over 3 plates on this bar before, so this will get better. I did 3 sets of 5 with about a 5-second pause. I don't know how accurate my counting was because it felt like shit, so I probably cut that a little bit short, but 3 sets of 5 with a shitty 5-second pause. If I had somebody here counting it off for me, then it would probably be a little bit better, but whatever. Went from that into good mornings with the safety squat bar. Did these for 3 sets of 8. Goal here is to get some hamstring work, and then also just back. The main goal being keep upright in through my squat. So that's what all these accessories are meant to address. I'll build the weights up on these over the next couple of weeks as well. I've done this with 2.5 plates, I believe, for a set of 5 towards the end of last year. So this was pretty light. I was just tired and nauseous. But I got 3 sets of 8 in as this as well. And then just finished up with some banded crunches with a heavy band. Did 3 sets of 10 there. By this time my back was pretty fatigued, so these always help to just divert some of that blood flow from the lower back and stretch it out at the same time. So that's it for week 1 of squats. I'll see you back in a day or 2 for my bench workout. If you enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel. The button is somewhere on the screen. If you're too lazy to find the button, this probably isn't going to be a healthy relationship. I will see you next time.